93% of all businesses in the United States have family involved with the business. And I work with thousands of business owners, and one of the most difficult things that they're navigating inside their business is this dynamic of, hey, the team might have an issue with their family member. So how do I get involved and how do I approach the situation while not throwing my family member under the bus, but equally not making our team feel like there's a significant amount of nepotism and there's dynamics and like a family business. No one wants to work for a family business. So let's talk through, how do you handle conflict with your family, and when people talk shit about your family to you, what do you do as a business owner and the leader? So let's set some ground rules for this. First things first, one of my mantras is, do not tell me anything that you don't want Brandon to hear. This makes me feel safe in the conversations I'm having with people because I know that I've already communicated that they can't tell me something that I'm then gonna have to hide from my husband. You do not want to create an environment where you have to hide things from the other person. Now, that's not to say that you're going to go tell that person everything, and you shouldn't tell that person everything. But as long as people know that what they're sharing with you would be shared with the other person, you're not going to find yourself in those very uncomfortable positions inside your business, and you don't want to be in those positions either. The second thing that I'm really thinking about as I approach this conversation is I need to remove the emotion. I am, yes, a wife. I have a wife hat, like literally like a hat that I put on, and I'm a wife and I support my husband and we're on the same page and we're going after our goals together and we're on a mission together. But I also have a president hat and I have a co-founder hat. And to my team, when we're in a meeting or when there's something that's challenging happening, I'm wearing my president hat. I'm wearing my co-founder hat. This is not the time for me to be the wife and the mama bear and to protect him or to defend him. That's not what my team is looking for. So I have to take off the wife hat while still being able to operate with the previous thing that I was talking about. I'm operating that they can't tell me something that I have to hide from my husband, but they can have open and transparent communication with me, and I'm not going to get emotional. So do not react when somebody tells you something about your significant other, about your brother, about your cousin, about your mom, whoever is in your business. Do not react emotionally. Tell yourself that as it's happening. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to react. And then don't react. When they tell you, take in the information. And the best thing that you can do is ask great questions. Okay, how did you approach this? How did you communicate this? Bring me up to speed on the situation, because it's likely that the other person potentially is also emotional. You're trying to remove all emotion from this conversation and get to the root of it. The root of it is there's a problem. Something's not working right. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you are in a relationship with the other person or that they know that you're in a relationship with the other person. It's just about our business. So when you have these guiding lights in your business around why you're in business, it helps you navigate these situations. For us at Cardone Ventures, our mission, why we do everything that we do, is to help business owners achieve their personal, professional, and financial goals through the growth of their businesses. Any conversation that's taking us off of mission, vision, where we're going, helping business owners is a distraction. And so when you're able to remember that in these conversations and not react emotionally, you can remember, okay, there's a problem, and this thing right here is getting in the way of this target that we've established. So I just have to remove this thing. That's my purpose. I'm removing the issue so that all of us can actually hit the stated target. Once you've removed the emotion and you remember that it's the target that you're after, you need to create an environment with your organization and with the person that you're talking to that you're there to help. You're there to help navigate whatever this issue is, whatever the situation is, and that you're like a conduit to help. Now, why I say help is you're not just a listening ear to have people talk shit to you. I was making a joke earlier to my team. I was like, talk shit, get hit. Just kidding. We don't hit our employees, but we also don't allow just shit talking. I don't want to be subjected to my team just being like, oh, Brandon didn't listen to me and this was his idea and he wants to do this. I don't want to subject myself to that. However, early in my career, I made this mistake constantly. I lent an open ear to team members to just come in and bitch about Brandon and talk negatively about Brandon. And I was just like consoling them or just trying to help them like navigate it. But I was too open to hearing negativity. Now I've recognized that's not my role, to just listen to people when Brandon has a strong leadership style. And when Brandon wants something done the way that he wants it done, it needs to be done that way. There's no questions about it. And it's very effective. Brandon is one of the greatest leaders I know. But our team still needs help in navigating those issues. So I'm there to help, but I'm not there to just listen to shit talking and listen to bitching and listening to moaning about Brandon. Those conversations get shut down. How could I help? Once I've established that I'm there to help, I try to do everything that I can do to just handle the issue right there. I have a lot of trust with Brandon. I have a lot of confidence that I know how he would want something handled. So I'm going to try to just handle it. If it cannot be put on Brandon's plate, that is my ideal scene. Depending on the roles that you have inside your organization, somebody could be the visionary, somebody could be the operations person, the person that's integrating everything. For me, that's my role. I integrate everything. I make things happen. Brandon has this vision. Brandon sees these things that he wants to do. And I'm like, yep, no problem. We have the team, we have the resources, we have the ability, we have the organization to make those things happen. He is putting his foot on the gas, and I allow an environment all around him that says, we got this, we can handle this, we can take care of this. And the majority of the team reports to me. There's maybe 2 or 3 people that actually report directly to Brandon. Every other 200 plus employee of ours reports at some level to me. And so what that does is it allows me to be in a position to handle problems. Even though they might have the problem with Brandon or the issue came up with Brandon, they're going to come to me to handle it. I don't want to give him problems. And I don't, at the end of the day, want to tell him about all the things that I had to take off of his plate. If I have to tell him those things when I take my president hat off and I put my wife hat on, it's still putting problems on his plate as if I'm the president. So we don't have that luxury in our relationship because that's not the right role for us. And I would recommend it might not be the right role for you, even though you think you should be telling your significant other or your brother or your family member all the problems and just catching them up on your day. It's not a great thing because you're just exacerbating what the actual issue is. Handle the freaking problem. Take care of the issue. If it can't be taken care of and the person really needs to have a communication with the other family member, then facilitate and help coach them on how to do that. And I always encourage direct communication. I don't want people sitting on or harboring issues with Brandon. If I can handle it, I'm going to handle it. But if something does need to go to him and they need to express something, I want them to express that thing, and I'm going to encourage them to express that thing because unexpressed resentment, especially with your executives, your leadership teams, it's one of the worst things that you can do. So I'll be a buffer to a certain extent, but then if they're really frustrated, I'm like, dude, talk to Brandon. Did you call Brandon? Did you have this communication? And if you didn't, of course it's going to become problematic and you're coming to me just to talk shit. I don't want to hear you talk shit. If you're not having the conversation and you know that it's between you and him, don't put me in the middle of it. Man up, gut up, have the freaking conversation and just handle it. And then guess what? Let's go back to our mission. Let's go help people. All of the drama and all of the issues that are festering with your family and the dynamics created with your team members around this is what gets in your way from actually growing. That's what stops you. So I highly recommend this framework. This has worked so well for us over the last 5 years. We've grown our business from just Brandon and myself to having over 270 employees across our organizations. We're going to do over $100 million in revenue this year, and this has worked for us. I'm interested to know what's worked for you inside your business. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what's working, how you navigate these challenges, what you do when people talk shit. Do they get hit? Hopefully not. But let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time.